Okay, today we're going to multiply complex numbers, and it's very similar to multiplying binomials because a complex number has two terms, the real part and the imaginary part. So we begin by multiplying 2 times 5, which gives us 10, and then we multiply 2 times negative 4i, giving us negative 8i. Then we multiply our 3i times 5, which gives us positive 15i. And then we multiply our 3i finally by negative 4i, giving us negative 12i squared. Okay. What we have to do at this point is we're going to combine our like terms. The negative 8i plus 15i, and then we also have to change our I squared to a negative 1. Because as we learned in previous videos, I squared is negative 1. Doing both of these at the same time gives us 10 plus 7i plus 12. Then we combine our constants and we get 10 plus 12 is 22 plus 7i, giving us our first answer. So now let's look at the next group. In our next one, we're going to have a couple of steps to do. First, we have to multiply 3 times 4 plus 2i, giving us 12 plus 6i. And then we bring down our minus 5. We combine our 12 minus 5, giving us 7 plus 6i. So there was 2 steps involved here, but they work very easily together. Okay, this time we're going to multiply I into to a complex number. So I times 3 is going to give us 3i, and then I times 2i is going to give us positive 2i squared. As earlier, we can cancel out the I squared and it becomes a negative 1, and then we're going to combine them, so we get 3i minus the 2. Now this isn't in proper form. If you remember correctly, the real number has to come first. So we're going to bring the negative 2 to the front, and then we're going to add the 3i. The sign goes with the number to get our final answer. Okay, here's 2 complex numbers that are exactly the same except the sign in the middle. One has a minus sign in the middle, the other one has a plus. We multiply the same way, multiplying 3 times 3, getting 9, and then 3 times positive 2i, giving us positive 6i, and then negative 2i times 3, which gives us negative 6i, and then finally negative 2i times positive 2i, which gives us negative 4i squared. Our next step in the problem is to combine our like terms, but notice in this case the terms cancel each other. That's because one has a negative, the first complex number has a minus in the middle, and the second complex number has a plus in the middle, and the terms are the same, exactly the same otherwise. This causes the middle term to cancel. So we're going to get 9, but don't forget we got to change that I squared to a negative 1, and we get, therefore we're going to get 9 plus the 4, which gives us 13. This is a way that we can go from multiplying 2 complex numbers together and get a real response or a real solution. This is called multiplying by a conjugate. The conjugate is the number 3 plus 2i. The conjugate of 3 minus 2i is 3 plus 2i.